Hello, Debbie Mays here with Health for ADV. Today I want to cover a topic that has hit top priority for a lot of homes around America, including my own. The crud, the cold, the sniffles, whatever you want to call it, none of us like it, and we all want to minimize it as fast as possible if we do get it. So what is your protocol when you get sick? Well, it likely involves going to the store, picking up a bunch of stuff, hope it works. Then if it doesn't, heading to the doctor to see what can be done, which by this time it's likely become much worse. Then you basically go down for the count for a few days and you fully recover over the next 5 to 7. Well, it's been a long time, but it happened to me, so I thought I'd share with you what my protocol was. And it was going around, and I started getting drainage, which could have turned into a sore throat, then fever, then chills, the whole 9 yards, but I stopped it. I dealt with mucus production for a little over 2 days, but never got a fever and never really felt bad, and was able to continue my daily activities. Now that also included riding motorcycles in January. So my version of sickness may sound differently than yours, but that's all because of how I handled it when it came on. So what did I do? Well, it didn't include the doctor. Now, that's not because I'm against doctors, but rather we tend to kind of use them, overuse them, and it's mainly because we just don't have a better option. So we run to the store, we get whatever we can, which tends to just mask the symptoms, and then all leaves it up to your body to fight off the problem. I had some better options, so I just didn't end up needing a doc in this case. Now, if you're on this page, hopefully you're here because you want to know if there is a better way, or perhaps you already use these products, but you want to learn how to use them more effectively. So here we go. The reality is essential oils don't work like pharmaceuticals, nor should they. After all, they're not drugs. And as a result, it requires a little bit different approach. So I'm going to cover that here, including what I did, and also about what the resultant use of these products cost me to support my body during this illness, and how it ended up being a far better solution, in my opinion, than the typical route. Now, especially since most likely it was viral based, which leaves modern medicine generally scratching their head for the most part. Now, as the drainage kicked in, I used a product called Tri-Ease. Now, Tri-Ease is simply a gel cap containing lemon, lavender, and peppermint essential oils. If it is just an allergy season, I'll typically just take one. If it's like this and I'm actively fighting something, I'll take 2 about every 4 hours. Now this generally takes care of it. Now, all natural, and I don't have that sleepy, disconnected head feeling as a result. So mission 1 solved. Okay, I can breathe at least better than before. But remember, if you've got serious mucus production, then your body is attempting to flush something. So don't eliminate the symptom and then not also attack the root cause. So while that helped the drainage, I really wanted something to support my body in fighting off whatever it was. Now this is where the On Guard Plus gel caps came into play. These gel caps contain a seriously powerful blend of essential oils. We take these anytime we come into contact with or come down with something. And so we also take them when we go when we're traveling, because typically when you're traveling, you're bombarding your immune system with things that it's not used to. You're probably not sleeping as good. A lot of things can come into play there when you travel. And so now remember, this is not the same. An On Guard Plus soft gel is not the same contents as an On Guard essential oil. Okay, now it does have that oil in it, but it's also got some other oils. So don't think I'm replacing those two. Now, Holly and Nicholas, because they did not have it, were taking 1-2 times a day as a preventative because they didn't want to have what I got. And I was taking 2 every 4 hours for support. Now, these have helped me kick something so often, I don't even consider not having them in my cabinet. And since essential oils technically don't really expire, it's something that you can have on hand, so when you need it, you've got it. My third was Breathe. Now, although Tri-Ease was helping with the mucus production, I still needed additional support. Breathe, which is, if you've not experienced it, is like providing you with an additional lung. I use it prior to going on a run, when I'm healthy, or when I'm off-road motorcycling, or I will use it in a diffuser at night to help my airways stay open, also known as not snoring. And then when I'm fighting something like this, to keep my airways clear, I'll put a little bit under my nose, I'll diffuse it as well, things like that. Now, as I continued to drain, I was going through a ton of tissues, okay? And my nose got tender as a result. So I switched over to our Breathe Stick, which is basically breathe in a carrier. And it ended up being a little bit more gentle to my nose, and provided kind of a longer support for breathing since it doesn't evaporate as quickly. So I used it at night as well. I also used a little DIY inhaler that we have, where I put a couple of drops of Breathe down into, there's a wick on the inside of this, and you just put a couple of drops in there, and then at any point you take the lid off and you can breathe it in through your nostrils, and it will really open you up. Plus it's packaged real nice, so I can throw it in my pocket, and I've always got access to it. Now, in addition to that, I used our Breathe. Are you starting to tell how much Breathe I was using? I also used the Breathe lozenges. Now, they really did a good job of coating my throat, but they also opened me up and allowed me to kind of continue to move forward, talk to people, talk on the phone, things like that, without having that clogged up head that you normally get. Now, I would alternate between that and the On Guard lozenges, which the reason the On Guard lozenges are great is they have kind of a numbing effect, but then they also support your immune system, so you're kind of constantly getting a small dose of On Guard essential oil along the way. Now, number 4, this is when I pulled out the big guns. So again, yeah, I'm managing it, but it was tight in my head. And so I was using, with a head issue like this, providing enough chemistry to support the body on a continual basis is key. But getting it to where it needs to go can be a little tricky when everything's clogged up. Now, luckily with essential oils, they can generally get to the right place no matter whether you do it internally or on the bottom of your feet or on your chest or aromatically. Each have their own purpose and their benefits. Now, in this case, I wanted to directly affect my sinus region, and I also needed a lot of support there. So I made a steam cup, okay? I got water to a boiling point, then placed it in a coffee cup, and then added 1 drop of oregano, 2 drops of melaleuca, 2 drops of peppermint, and then 2 drops of lemon. Now, each of those have their own specific properties, including fighting and opening, as well as cleansing to and for the body. But I would slowly breathe that in breathe in the steam, which would not only open my nasal passages, but it would also support those sensitive tissues that were under attack in my sinus region. They had become inflamed, and so it was really supporting those. Now, if you do this at home, when I say it's powerful, I mean it. So breathe in gently at first, so you know what to expect, and then as it cools, you can breathe in deeper and deeper. Number 5. At night, I was diffusing On Guard and Breathe and placing On Guard essential oil on the bottoms of my feet at night. And then after my shower in the morning, I put it on my feet again just to continue to provide consistent chemistry to support my body on a continuing basis while it was at war. Now, number 6, speaking of the shower, I used eucalyptus on the shower walls. I basically just toss it on the shower walls, so just a few drops a day. But that eucalyptus would get my nose open and the steam and everything, and so it kind of get me a good kickstart in the morning. Now, think of essential oils use as bringing in reinforcements, okay? But also, in addition to supporting directly, it's also, think of it as it's acting as commanders, okay, to your troops and in your body, basically telling them to do the right thing. It's the shield up mentality, okay? So sometimes your body just needs to be told what to do. Now, fever is the body's natural way to alarm the system and say, hey, we're under attack, we need support. But the problem is fever comes kind of late in the game. And so it doesn't come in until later, and so at that point you've already kind of started that process. Well, essential oils can basically kickstart that process so that you don't ever get to the fever part, which means the enemy numbers, if you want to continue that war mentality or analogy, and so the enemy numbers are still low, and therefore we can maintain it and get it done before it gets out of hand. Number 7, water. All right, specifically lemon oil in my water throughout the day. Now, your body needs to be able to flush these toxins even more. It's even more important when you're sick. Providing proper hydration along with lemon oil, which the lemon oil provides support to the liver for detoxification. Specifically, it increases the production of glutathione. Glutathione is what the liver uses to detoxify. Okay, at least one of its mechanisms. And so it again helps the body restore itself back to normal operations when it's under attack. Number 8, I took the Copaiba gel cap 2 times each day. Now, to be fair, this is something I take every day anyway because of some neck issues and stuff that I've got, but it kind of works along with this because it would support those achy feelings that you get when your body's coming under attack. Number 9, of course, I continued my daily regimen of the Lifelong Vitality. Now, the supplements, which are just the Lifelong Vitality supplements, are just vitamins, minerals, nutrients, things like that. Now, the worst time ever to stop taking your supplements is when your body is needing every possible nutrient to operate at optimum effectiveness. Now, providing those nutrients was like providing meal rations to the frontline warriors in a battle, okay? And so, speaking of food, I also dropped all alcohol, dairy products, and simple sugars. Now, this would include, if you drink them, soft drinks or, I'm sorry, the guys in the South, sweet tea, okay? So, I don't do a tremendous amount of these anyway, but all of these put a load on the body, and specifically dairy products increase mucus production. So it's key to drop that when you're struggling with sinus issues of any sort, and that includes allergies. Number 10, I followed up with probiotics. At the end, once I was better, I followed up with probiotics to ensure that my gut had not been compromised after the sickness. Now, this happens a lot with people. They go to the doctor, they get antibiotics, things like that. It kills the bad guys and the good guys. And so then now their immune system is compromised. And then what do you know, 2 weeks later they have a relapse, okay? So I wanted to ensure that that wasn't going to happen. And so I took PB Assist for a few days after just to make sure that I had a healthy flora in my gut again so that my immune system was back to normal. Okay, so that's pretty much what I did. Now, if you notice, that was a lot going on. Now, it wasn't hard, okay? It was extremely simple, but there was a lot going on. And so I think, that's the typical approach that I take pretty much regardless of whatever I get, okay? It doesn't really matter because the body's defense system kind of works the same way regardless. And so when you are supporting it, that's kind of what it does every time. Now remember, it's key to remember that these are not drugs, and so they don't act like drugs. You don't take one in the morning and go, cool, I'm done for the day, I'll take another one tonight. Their chemistry is powerful, but it absorbs very quickly, and therefore you must be consistent regarding their use so that your body gets consistent support along the way. Again, just because you tell it to do something now doesn't mean that it's not going to go back to not doing it several hours later, okay? So if you have tried doTERRA essential oils and didn't receive the support that you were expecting or the result that you were looking for, that's likely the cause. Less more often is generally the rule of thumb. When your body is compromised, using something about every 1 to 2 hours will provide that necessary support your body needs and guarantees your best chance of achieving the results that you want. And even better is not using the same oils. They're all composed of different chemistry, and we have a lot of oils that support different things. And so you can use one oil now, and then an hour later use something different, and so it consistently keeps something new going in that really helps your body and basically fights it from different angles. Okay, so why choose essential oils over typical solutions? Well, cost is one reason. So here's a breakdown of the total cost during the week, and I was really the week that I was using really extra. Okay, so I use essential oils all the time, but this was kind of specific as best I could remember and best I could calculate of what I spent. And so considering that that also equaled to no downtime, no copay, no doctor visit, no time off work, and kept my family well, the savings was huge. And so a little over $60 in product created a ton of convenience. I didn't have to go to the store, didn't have to go to the doctor. I had what I needed at home, and not only that, but again, it supported my family as well. And so, and yes, they did not get it. And so the result is the final reason that essential oils work better. Fast support without any disconnected head feelings or drowsiness or having that weird those weird issues that you get. It worked fast. I was back to normal quick, and isn't that what we're all looking for? So anyway, I hope that answers some questions for you, and I hope, if you're already part of our doTERRA family, hopefully this is going to give you a little bit more information about how to use your products to support your body. If you're still kicking tires, reach out. Let us help you put together your home kit, so when trouble comes to your house, you'll be prepared to hit it head on. We also want to make sure you become educated so you can support your body and your family naturally and effectively as we've learned to do. Until next time, I'm David Mays with Health for ADV. Right on.